story. He slaughters, peaks almost too early. Good call because we'll see him here, and then struggles to close things out. There's like this switch that flips where it's so easy to take that early momentum you get as a Timber and just throw it away with one overcommitment, one bad Timber chain.
And they have two heroes that can potentially go mid here. Like both of their cores, depending on what we see in the next two picks from Vikingg GG, can go mid. So this is kind of nice for Unique. The big flaw I see for them right now is just this Earth Spirit in terms of like vulnerable heroes for him to gank. And they have time. Like the Queen of Pain's still in. They could just put Queen mid right now if you're Vikingg GG. I feel like that's fairly likely. I mean, these guys are they pick some nasty heroes. I'm looking through. They've been picking some Viper.
Ooh.
Gross. A little bit of Necrophos too. They're not scared. They'll pick the dirties.
And
that's a respectable, honorable hero though of the Invoker.
Yeah. God, next to a Beastmaster, I just immediately think play fast, exort, boom, boom, pow, but we know it's going to be Quaswex, which is pretty good against Timber, pretty good against Witch Doctor and Earth Spirit, so it's a great game to have that mid-game control that a QW Invoker gives you.
5 seconds remaining.
Come on, don't you want those Void Spirits in there with the Zoo, Trent? I said Void Spirits. I meant to say Forged Spirits.
That's what you were talking about. No,
although Void Spirit isn't banned, speak of the devil, but
I prefer myself some Alacrity Dota. I like the Quaswex. Actually able to lane is pretty cool.
I guess.
Not a lot of fun picking position ones into Slark or into Timber though. Slark is one that seems to come up over and over versus the Timber. Either like some teams seem to counterpick the Timber with the Slark, and other teams are like, oh, they have a Slark, let's go Timber.
What position were they playing the Viper in mostly? Mid?
Yeah.
Okay.
This would replace their potential Viper. Not seeing that one coming. I don't think we should be. I'm definitely not a fan of Silver Edge versus Timbersaw. I know that happens sometimes, but the fact that it doesn't take away any of the stacks he already has is just. I don't think it's worth trying to go for break versus the guy.
Agreed. Yeah, he's not worthy. It's a big investment for a pretty marginal gain.
There's still Morphling, who's kind of a classic hero versus the Gyrocopter. But there's a Timber, so it's,
I mean, I always think just mobility against Timber. Most ones aren't going to have a fun time against him. So somebody that can at least run around a little bit. Is Void Spirit a potential one option for Vikingg?
I don't think it would really fit. I would like someone else who can just at least hit a tower.
Yeah, that's true. They actually banned the Viper themselves, and they take Ursa.
Okay, that's hitting a tower in a different way in the sense of at least it helps you get a different objective, which is Roche, right? And it's also a counterpick to the Timbersaw. Yeah, definitely have to start bringing Ursa into our repertoire of potential heroes, though, with how popular he's been lately.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. And it has great synergy with the Grimstroke. We've talked about that combo a number of times. Gives Ursa a stun, basically. Somebody that can follow up the Primal Roar and actually get a kill. Also quite good.
5 seconds remaining.
Another Abyssal Carrier. Now, for Unique, the big decision. Gyro, mid or safe lane?
Yeah, with the Viper counter, too, there's not that many heroes that really ruin Ursa. The classic heroes are Viper and Veno. But fitting a Veno into this roster doesn't look that great right now. They have to be more concerned about their own game. Their own fighting around the Roche Pit isn't amazing right now. It's basically Earth Spirit, Gyro, Timber, which they're all mediocre, but they don't have any big Roche fighting spell, Call Down's kind of the best thing they have.
What about Life Stealer for Unique? Somebody that's a little beefier, can't quite trade with the Ursa, but...
Yeah, that's the problem, is that you can never trade with the Ursa. They could go an illusion-based hero, right? If they wanted the Gyro mid.
Kind of thing, yeah.
It feels like they need, as Kyle would say, some peel. If they want to make the Gyro the one, they need someone that can help spread it off. They go for the Bristle, though, speaking of the breaks and whatnot. Bristle back, and Timbersaw on the same team.
Well, it's easy to underestimate the Bristle in terms of a scaling core, and he certainly can play a right clicker and do pretty well, but still not one that can trade with Ursa. You can be really annoying. You can run away and turn your back and put out a bunch of quills. you can annoy the Ursa, but
Man, I wish they had like a save or something. Because I feel like when they roar someone, they will just die.
yeah,
But like if there was like an OD or something and you just astraled them, like I don't know, this would look so good.
I had thought OD, but he's been so bad and so unpicked that it just seemed like not worth
5
mentioning.
seconds
But
remaining.
somebody like that can eventually build up to start countering the Ursa and also have a reset.
It almost feels like they're just thinking instead, we're just going to try and tank through it with the Timber and the Bristle, right? It's like, okay, I don't think you'll die in a roar. Like, maybe we'll have Illusion come through on the Earth Spirit and he can get the save. Maybe the Cask can do it, but I really like the Ursa pick. The Ursa it looks like a really nice Ursa game considering it was 9th picked and not 10th. That kind of looks like Ursa was the last pick and you're like, oh, damn, Ursa into Gyro, Timber, and Bristle. This game's sick.
Yeah. I like the supporting cast. I agree. I really like the Ursa too, but I like the comp that Vikingg has. I think Chen makes the lanes a pretty good setup for Vikingg. You've also just got good laners in Beastmaster and Ursa. That'll kind of compensate for the Invoker, who's maybe a little weaker in this meta. And you've got a great team to fight around the Invoker. Right, like he can set stuff up, and you've actually got heroes that can capitalize on it. Grimstroke.
Well, I'll tell you
perfect
what,
for that.
we liked Alliance's draft in both of the last 2 games, and they lost both games.
Yeah,
So
thanks for reminding
there you
me.
go.
You're right.
They felt like they had a lot of things covered, pretty decent timing. You can kind of see their path to victory, and things just didn't go down the path. They kind
I mean, you're right, but I'm looking at this unique lineup, and it feels like this lineup is designed to, hey, we're going to win the lanes. We got Bristle Timber. We're really good at doing stuff early on and making lanes our main thing. And I don't think Vikingg have bad lanes by any stretch.
Prepare for battle.
All right, well, we'll see who's going mid versus this Bristle. It is indeed the Invoker. Nothing too shocking there. I thought maybe they do the Gyro, but
Okay, so how
they
does
like
that
this
match
a little
up?
bit better.
Maybe
Oh, well, I watched so many Bristle versus Invoker games.
maybe Bristle slaughters this matchup, and this will be like the first time we saw Morphling versus Ember Spirit. We'll go, huh? Or that first time we saw Slardar versus Ember Spirit or whatever it was, and it's like, oh yeah. Bash is pretty good against melee heroes.
It could work with the Earth Spirit, theoretically. Because if he's trying to play around the quills and he just gets stunned up and takes 2 more quills than he thought, and he'll just die. Potential. Slary, gotta pop the smoke. Looks like they saw this movement coming.
5-man smoke. Yep, unique. You're going to get got, but they'll still catch Solari, and I think this will probably be your first blood. They let him go.
All right, we popped the smoke and died. Sick.
Yep. I've
Yeah,
been
that
there.
didn't feel great.
You get the outpost. Big snag.
That's the flex take. Yeah. Oh, and the ward, though. Oh, yeah. Now that's big.
Battle begins.
Ooh, that is pretty big. And look at this Vord that they put down. This is an interesting
That's the
0-0
kill your couriers
ward.
ward. But also, they want to see where the lanes are going still as well. But it's mostly a kill your couriers ward.
Yep. Okay. Starting with an aggro try for the Vikings.
Oh, that was pretty smart from Vanscourt. You see what he did down there? So he was hiding behind the trees, and he knew the timing on the creep wave, and he was thinking that if the Chen keeps walking with the creep wave, we can actually kill him because we'll have roll with the Orb of Venom, and the cask is almost guaranteed to bounce on him again because of the way the wave moves, right? Like, there's like a decent chance that you can get the double bounce because the wave wouldn't get aggroed.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is a weird moment where you can play around the super robotic creeps
Yeah.
that don't react to anything. Yeah, that would have been pretty
yeah.
cool.
Larry was too smart. He got away from that
All
one.
right, so Chen pulls Toby down bottom. And that means up top it's going to be Aramis on the Grimstroke with Shad, the Ursa. Is he going to buy Battle Fury? Are you going to pretend to be
he's dead
surprised
bottom.
for the memes? Toby's dead.
Whoa, what about get a PvP tweet?
Holy shit! Battle Fury on Ursa! Wow!
That's actually almost worth it.
Who said it? I don't even remember who it was directed at. I saw the
No,
tweet.
I have no idea. Who was doing that.
I didn't see the clip.
There wasn't even a clip. He just put it out there. The funny thing is, we were casting a couple weeks before, and we were like, "Oh, he had the Battle Fury queued up," and it didn't come through, so we didn't even get to act surprised when we had it when it was like kind of starting.
Well, I think Peter's point was that it's twofold. It's like, A, if you're playing Dota right now, you've probably seen it in some of your pubs at pretty much any level, and B, it's also not bad. So you should, think about it. It's like, yeah, Ursa having a farming tool is pretty cool, actually.
I mean, it kind of makes, there's some forgiveness there, I would say, just because of, like, it's, again, this idea of just, like, imagine buying Battle Fury on Ursa, like, 2 years ago. I remember when people were buying Radiance on Ursa, and it was, like, starting to become a thing.
Uh-oh, Solari.
This doesn't seem like an item that would be good on the hero, but, yeah, there's another one for Unique.
Yeah. Dota has changed a lot, though. You're definitely right. 2 years, that would have been untenable, and now... Oh,
now with that
Aramis.
pop, it's, like, good.
Yeah.
It's also the fact that he has the change in the way that the Fury Swipe stacks. But anyway, speaking of Fury Swipes, he is stacking them up right now on Illusion and BZZ.
Games also just feel different now. It feels so much more common that we see carries stay relatively quiet, hit this certain timing, and then they break the whole game open, and then it's like a different game after this one rotation happens. After that one Spectre Haunt where she gets a double kill after Radiance. It's like a totally different state of affairs.
We don't have the TI5? I can't remember. With aggressive on the gyro. Oh, he's about to be level 6. He's TPing.
Toby. I think Toby's dead here.
Oh, he's quite dead. I don't think a salve will save him. Actually, it probably would save him if he wanted to go for it.
He will let it go. He accepts his fate.
Yeah, he probably could have lived. I would agree that that's not worth, though. It's the 4th kill already. Keep your salve and come back at full HP and mana.
Yeah.
Take your lumps, Well, mid lane, though, not super one-sided. Just, like, in favor of the Bristle.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that he's not really going to get zoned out too hard, right? Has pretty good HP regen, with the help of the tower now, too. Oh, it's the 4-minute flip with the bottle. The tornado comes through. Ooh, that's going to be a lot of damage, though. Now he's out of mana.
And
all that. Don't you love Dota?
Yep. Aramis walks into Roche, pops the salve, now looking for some deny help, not going to find it.
Oh, I so wish he got bashed there, though. That would have been pretty good. Well, that still sucks for 19, though, because now he has to run all the way home with his bottle.
That
was a risky purchase.
Yeah. It might still pay off, though. I mean, Bristle mid, you need some kind of mana sustainability.
I don't know, dude. That EMP is what really killed him. So if it wasn't for the EMP, he could at least have gone, like, jungled, waiting for the 5-minute bounty rune.
Yeah.
Instead, because of the EMP, he just straight up had to walk home. Like, this is devastating.
Good thing he was ahead, so now it'll be dead even.
And all of that could be changed if he just had gotten that bottle, Gotten that rune.
Mm-hmm. It does seem like against these not super hard-hitting ranged heroes, if you're a decently beefy melee core, you can grab a Quelling Blade and go mid and handle yourself. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of
right.
like the poor man's shield era of mid laners.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
PNC and MVP were just like playing jug mid, and everyone's like, "What is this?" Yeah. Then everyone was doing it for like 2 years after.
You're certainly conceding that you're going to give the Invoker some space to farm, but Bristle can get his, and that's a timing you can fight around.
You always end up with a decent amount of denies too, though, because you're just like so tanky and do so much more damage than the range heroes.
Mm-hmm. Down bottom. Whoa!
Oh, that's a fortunate time to pause. But so what is this? First ounce?
Think so.
Ready? Oh, we're good.
All right, so Lucian comes rolling in. Toby gonna take quite a bit of damage here, and that'll be the end of old Tobes. 6-0.
Those boars, though.
Fan scores Mangoing, Salvin.
We have a upset stomach after that. Oh, the regen rune. Too fast. Nice. All right, redemption for 19 here. And he's actually running top of it, too.
Bold.
Gonna find Aramis, but he has no goo.
Forces a TP straight away.
Radiant's courier
An
has been
interesting rotation. He actually canceled his TP.
Weird. Courier
Okay.
sniped in the bottom.
Kind of a funny run around here for an idea. I guess he didn't really miss out on too much. Gets back for some of the wave creeps.
Yeah, I mean, overall, good for Invoker, I guess. Bristle still does have a small XP advantage.
Might have wished he was just stacking Ancients instead, though. Again, another instance of Dota not really rewarding aggression. Like, let's say he gets that kill. It's probably worth more to go stack a camp and farm the other one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Up top with the phase boots, Shad is applying more pressure to BZZ, but he has the soul ring, so he's also just able to hop away. And with the chakram too, they're playing a very dangerous game up here between the two of them.
Oh, BZZ should be going down here. Oh, there it is. That Ursa hits hard. You normally think of Timber as pretty tanky with 2 points in reactive, but not against your Ursa.
Yeah, and Aramis there just to tilt the scales a little bit. Back in favor of Shad. Down bottom there, wrapping around here with Illusion, but they could maybe go for the Chen. Still half a level to the call down, though, and they probably don't want to get too aggressive without it. Oh, and now he actually gets spotted. They've taken a dire creep, and Slayer's doing a little lap here and scouts him out.
Yep. Hawk also overhead.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They want this kill on Vanscore because Aramis TP's through.
Solari takes the stun. Toby a little underleveled. He's only 4 right now. Mid lane, though, they go in onto the Invoker. That is a hasted up Bristleback. TP coming in. Looks like it's Beastmaster. No, it's Shad.
That's a good punish to force that TP by making that dive because they knew that there were so many heroes gathered bottom that they wouldn't be able to help the Invoker, so it actually has to bring a core rotation instead. Looks like the wave's just gonna push back to his tower anyway, though. So again, not a huge loss here for Shad.
Curious about the tags here on Unique. Palamtimos, he's .f3. Vanscore is Bless His Soul, and then Illusion is just Art Hose.
I like the I'm don't care tag. Someone else had that. That was my Boom has that on Vikingg. I'm don't care. Not IDC, not I don't care. I'm don't care.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Dire are scanning.
And then, of course, we've got Toby. He's just Toby.
Stellar Dota 2 caster and player. He can do it all.
Speaks Russian. Speaks English. Impressive guy. Well, damage exchanged. So looking at net worth, Bristle still pretty darn even with this Invoker. Spirit Vessel, no surprise there on the Invoker, coming out pretty quick.
And I don't think we're contesting outposts. We're just going to be contesting bounty runes. Up top, Shad is on the run here. Looks like he was hoping to maybe get to that outpost in time, but won't be able to get there. They're going to lose those bottom bounties. Or sorry, those top bounties too, though. So it's 3 for 1, it looks like.
In favor of Unique, and the rune also gets picked up by Unique.
Now Shad's in the river, coming down for this one.
Well, he'll take the easy setup into Illusion. 19 now, starting to chase. Aramis, he's going to get surrounded, and there you go. Easy one there.
And look, they're getting that ancient stack ready now, too, as the Vanguard's being completed here on 19. He's about 500 gold away. Back and stacks it one more time. Come on, Vanscore. What are you accomplishing down here? You're going to take the outpost? Fine. I'll allow it.
Never feels good taking the outpost at 10 minutes like this, though.
Yeah. I feel like there are teams that just prioritize more of this stacking, and for good reason. Like, I guess he's, like, leeching some XP from the Ancients and stuff, which is kind of cool.
I mean, given that Toby is under-leveled, I guess it maybe hurts a little bit more.
Oh, the item! Get it! Get the burrito!
Whoa!
Yes!
All right.
Score!
Well worth, and now Toby, I think he might have died if he didn't TP. Vanscore will fall. But
Nice.
thanks for the broom handle, boys.
All right, it was all worth. Where is he in terms of net worth? Is he third? All right, basically tied with his gyrocopter, so they're looking pretty good.
Radiant's bottom
Hey, Ursa's going for the Battle Fury. Perseverance.
Oh, what?
Already up. He's got a ring to put on that bear claw. Meanwhile, in the enemy jungle, Palantimos initiated on and brought down. All heal from Chen. 19 here, looking for some return kills. They are going to go on to the Invoker. Things starting to split as Shad also chases down Vanscore. Boom, looking to TP out. That's not going to happen. And back to the other side, TP home from Shad.
Man, that is depressing. Level 5 Beastmaster just dying there.
No escape, dude.
But yeah, getting the gyro, still pretty nice. Trying to slow him down. The Bristle's the most important hero right there. And at this point in the game, though, for Unique, there's no question. Like, they don't really care. If they have to choose who dies, you definitely want the gyro dying. Because Bristle just cannot stop snowballing. He still hasn't bought his item. He just got the VIP booster. That's another 700 gold. And he'll be taking that stolen broom handle now, too.
There you go. This is the crazy thing about Battle Fury Ursa, too. It kind of feels like he likes regen, and as long as he gets phase boots, he can still show up and participate. It's not like you have this AM-esque opportunity cost where you can't do anything until you've got Battle Fury.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's also still, like, you know, you could definitely do more, though. But, of course, the trade-off for being able to farm faster is definitely worth it.
Yeah, I guess it's just a little...
is under attack.
You're not worthless.
He's so aggressive already that he can afford to go for a greedy item and still have some presence. Much more so than a lot of other position ones. Aramis now going in onto this Timber Saw. Silence stun. Not enough damage for a kill. Instead, they'll just turn it onto Aramis.
He's on the wrong side, though.
Primal Roar. They'll bring down Vanscore, so it is a 1-for-1. Messy fight here. Solari should be okay. Tucked away in the tree line. And it might be BZZ that's in trouble now. Cold Snap, no more mana. Follow-up Centaur Stun, easy kill.
Tower is under
I guess he just thought that enough of them had left it, he'd be fine. It's like the Ursa showing mid. But that is, you know, speaking of heroes that you really don't want falling at this point in the game, I think Timber's right up there with Bristle. Trying to go for the Yule to try and help kite the Ursa a little bit and just, like, maybe give him another chance for a Timber Chain or something in the middle of these engagements. But that's still not going to help him versus the Grimstroke. With the Phantom's Embrace. That's going to be very annoying to deal with this game. Kind of has to get it, though. Like, versus Cold Snap and the Spirit Vessels and everything, he needs that Dispel. But that's why the Grimstroke's like such a good hero.
Yeah.
Speaking of versatile, like, supports and stuff, it can just be really annoying depending on their skill build.
It feels like you can't ignore him, no matter what you
He's
do.
kind of gone through it all, too, right? Like, he's been the maxing Stroke of Fate. That's kind of common now for, like, pushing out waves. People used to max the Phantom. They max the Inkswell. They die in the bottom lane for a couple heroes.
I think depending on the line, like matchup, you could still potentially maxing Swell. We have seen Stroke a lot more, but
tower is under attack.
haven't
Yeah, it
seen
depends
much
on the game.
max Phantom Embrace recently. Can't recall the last time we saw that.
They nerfed it, yeah. It used to be better.
Yeah, that one's not nearly as good. It kind of feels like a 1-point wonder to some degree.
Oh, we hit 50 minutes and no one's actually camping runes for once. So we still have 2 down bottom. 1 up top. Slayer will find us. So we'll go even.
Unique with
But Aramis is holding this bottom lane.
Where he just died. He's
Yeah.
relentless. He just went right back. No one will stop me. Meanwhile, Solari, Chen Army, ooh, Witch Doctor ulti. It's going to do a lot. Double damage Bristle also should be just about enough to finish off the kill. But Toby and Shag come in. They get Illusion. Boom on the low ground. A lot of damage into this Bristle. Spirit Vessel helping him out. But he returns enough to kill Toby as well. A 2-for-2. BZZ now comes in. Tornado. EMP. Timber Chain back up.
Oh, he still has
Shad
Soul Ring.
on the
missed.
run. And And boom, he's going to get left behind. Ghost Walk, no detection.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Just missed the shock on BZZ. He was too fast.
He's a speedy mother.
Gonna take a guess. Yeah, so that whole bait in ends up being a pretty big win for Vikingg GG just because the heroes traded there, killing that bristle. Very important at this point in the game.
Yep.
This is where he's supposed to feel at his tankiest, and he was so close to the talisman of evasion too.
And Shag getting both those kills, also big. Again, it's the same notion where he is fighting with the farming tool right now. He just got a double kill to complete the Battle Fury. Now he just goes to wipe out the jungle. That is about as good as it gets. Absolutely fantastic.
Mid lane, that's all the mana of illusion now, but I think he's far enough back in tanking that he'll be okay.
He'll live, but he will be
But,
rendered
they have
useless.
Beastmaster Ursa, so in we go. I was gonna
Oh,
say, wait
yeah.
till there's an alacrity too, yeah.
And when you have boars and whatnot to tank it, you don't even need lifesteal.
They're TPing, but this is way too fast.
No chance. I mean, it melts. There's also a Necro book, so you just keep cycling out different minions that tank the Roche so Ursa can do it. Doesn't have to waste money on a Morbid Mask. And I mean, why put 900 gold towards a mask when you could just buy a BKB instead?
I don't have a good answer for you. There's no good answer. Still a very even game in terms of net worth, but will this Aegis now tilt the scales like totally in their favor? I guess it depends on how the Bristle plays in the next fight with that Halberd, right? Like they need to just kind of cancel out the Ursa and pick off everyone around him.
Easier
But,
said than done.
Yeah, I feel like the idea of this unique lineup could have worked if they were really far ahead again. Like that is feasible, but I'm not feeling too keen right now.
Yeah.
Did they just get his pupil's gift? Vanscore just stole another item. He's gotten 2 neutrals this game. What the hell?
What a monster. Yeah, it's we go back to this a lot. The Dire team should be ahead right now with this Timber Bristle, and the fact that it's less than 1K at 18 minutes is a little scary. They are
Is under attack.
kind of forced to try and make some kind of fight happen, and they are going to go for it. Illusion knocks back Boom. Some pretty big follow-up damage. That should be the end of the Invoker thanks to the Curse. BZZ will just chop him down. And now the tier 1 mid under assault. Shad's still up top, just split pushing for now.
This is a great play by Unique. They're fighting into an Aegis, and they just killed Invoker and took their tier 1 mid after forcing the Beastmaster out of the jungle.
I
And
swear,
this
man,
was
this happens so often. Very rarely do teams Roche and then immediately 5-man. They almost always Roche, feel extra safe, and then split up and farm and reclaim map control. And there is a window there where you can fight into Aegis like that because they're probably not going to be sitting 5 heroes behind their tier 1 protecting the Invoker.
I mean, they're looking at Ursa top, and they see him, and they say, okay, he wants his BKB, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's kind of waiting for right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It also comes down to, like, missing Tornado. If you miss Tornado, they don't really have the best initiation right now.
Vanscore getting pinked here. Toby on the way.
Vanscore's
Primal
just
Roar.
dead.
Yeah, they're going to
They
leave
shouldn't
him.
have to use it here.
EMP will be sufficient. So Halberd is out on Bristleback, and Halberd is on the way for BZZ. Not done yet. Meanwhile, 19 initiated on by Shad.
They're not backing off here. I guess his allies are coming, but they're in a bad spot.
Oh, Soulbind.
Oh, nice.
Primal Roar to try to counter initiate, but Shad is just destroying the Bristle right now. Illusion goes down in the meantime. Shad continuing to dive deep, pops the BKB. It gets delivered mid-fight. BZZ. Now he's going to be in some trouble. This Ursa just doing way too much damage. Vanscore, he's going to be next to fall, and that'll be 4 dead for Unique.
Radiant's courier.
That was a 6 soul bind. Because I was wondering how they were going to punish that, because it looked like they were just kind of running in and We're just gonna get kind of swallowed up before Shaq could get there on the Ursa, but then the double roar just kind of pushed everyone and got the 2 big stuns, and that helped them like tip it right in their favor. Didn't really get a lot of damage out, period, from the side of Unique.
Good old
Ursa did as much damage as the entirety of Unique, pretty much.
What a ridiculous hero.
You like the Bear Man?
I mean, he's starting to just feel very good. He's been slowly on the rise, I think, ever since they changed both Earthshock to have some gap close and also the Abyssal Blade to give you another gap close. It's like those 2 things in tandem, you don't really have to buy Blink on this hero anymore.
Yeah, I mean, remember the first patch change he got where he was instantly being picked up by everyone?
Yeah.
And then he was like the only hero that got nerfed on like the instant like patch after.
Yeah.
His team was absolutely dominating.
He does have some counters. You mentioned Viper specifically. Heroes like OD can be pretty annoying, but I think he counters more heroes than not.
Yes, I would say.
And with this pretty heavy like melee core lineup like this, it's scary. Now Aramis gets off another Soulbind. Gonna be in some trouble here, but there is team follow-up. Toby with a stun onto BZZ. Going down quick. Shab with the BKB. Aramis will be the first casualty of this fight. Remember, there is no longer an Aegis on the Ursa. A 1 for 2 so far. There's that disarm. Jumps away as the rest of Vikingg continue to wrap around, putting a lot of damage into 19. Shad actually falls. It's the end of his streak, and now Vikingg on the run. The Bristle is maybe a bit more than they can handle.
I don't think they do. So they can't even go after Boom. They just gotta start hitting other targets.
Toby going for the TP. That was bold.
All right, now this will hit him if he's invis. But I mean, they're not gonna have enough damage to just kill him even if they know where he's standing. Can you imagine if he pulled that off?
BZZ did what he could.
Yep.
Now, is double halberd A, the play, and B, actually effective against Ursa?
It's probably a necessity versus them with Bristle and Timber. I can agree with that. Because it's not just the disarm, right? Like, you're also moving into just the actual evasion, too.
Yeah. And the HP regen lifesteal amp, it's particularly good on Timber.
On both of these heroes, really, right?
Yeah, it's good on Bristle as well. Oh, man score.
Oh, the Spirit Vessel. I thought he had
So,
it.
okay, that's a good point. It's just a value item in general. And the fact that it gives you another cheap tool against the Ursa. All right. And he does have Basher on the way. And that means Abyssal is up next, and Shad is not too far off. This is the other cool thing about Battle Fury Ursa. Without this, you kind of feel like after moments like that, like, oh, geez, now Gyro is going to clear out Ancients. Ursa doesn't really flash farm. You can't throw your momentum like this. Now, feels like it doesn't really matter that much. It's like, okay, we screwed up a team fight, guys. I'm going to go farm for a few minutes, recover.
It's your life's not run by Roche anymore when you get Battle Fury.
That's
like the biggest thing, right? Like when you don't have Battle Fury, Ursa's just like they just look at the Roche pit.
There's
over
no
and
flash
over.
farm. Yeah, that's you're an objective farmer. You're a flash Rocher.
Speaking of it, his BKB TP is also just safe this game, right? I'm not missing anything here. So that's a pretty big deal. And it's not likely to change anytime soon. He can pretty much just go wherever he wants. And worst case scenario, he BKB TPs, which is probably why he's still up here right now.
There's a lead for Vikingg GG, but not insurmountable. Also a Lotus Orb coming out. And Glimmer Cape on the Earth Spirit.
Is under attack.
What the hell?
Okay.
Electrify, Chrome, Dry, Oil, Slime. I thought there was a cooldown on that.
It'd be cool if they all stacked like that and you could electrify the slime, but I think they just override one another.
All right, hold on now. That's like level 2,000 in your battle pass to do that shit. Don't get too crazy now on me. Oh, geez. 12 Fury Swipes damage.
Radiant's bottom tower
That seems very good with this build.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's see how fast Roche dies this time.
Well, there's a smoke from the Dire, though. Unique are not going to let this go uncontested.
Are they?
However, okay.
Holy.
And Roche is
moly.
dead.
That is nuts.
That was truly a moment of they knew what was happening. They had the right idea, and
Look at the buffs on Ursa. Click on Shad right now. And he just lost some. He actually had more than this. And they are just stacking up this bear. And he's going in. He's hungry. Oh, he's disarmed though. Can't eat.
Shad still on the front lines. Does get disarmed again. Pretty big damage. A nice magnetize as 19 presses forward. That's his BKB now. They'll use the mech. And that's the disengage. Unique trying to force the issue, but they just can't do it.
I think that Soul Bind came out because that wasn't looking too hot there for Vikingg GG.
They make it out.
Running away with the Aegis, not a good look. No BKB, so they push the tower. Ursa can't really hop in here all willy-nilly anymore.
Still 35 seconds on Ursa's BKB.
He's bringing out the cheese, too. He's a little concerned.
All right, there's the first disarm. Now in on to 19, stunned up. Call down. Enrage is finished. Still
Kicked him out,
20
too.
seconds.
They're going to smoke up back here. Instead of Vikingg GG, they're going for a play.
I think they can. Unique are doing a good job sort of feigning the pressure, but they can't really catch anyone, nor really commit to anything.
Quickening charm.
That's another item down.
No, he's going to get it. He's
Okay.
like, we don't lose items, we take items.
Oh, we're about to even out there.
That's a good tornado line.
Force the BKB. Double damage on 19. Probably not something you really want to fight into. Vanscore on the low ground. They'll get silenced and repelled. And meanwhile, up top, Shad kind of by himself. They do get that kill onto Vanscore.
They only soulbound the Bristle, though. Didn't find the secondary target, so they didn't commit.
Still some time on the double damage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hops
He wants
in.
this a little too bad.
BKB now. Earth Spirit just jumps to his death. Timber Saw going to be in some trouble also. This fight
They gotta
does
get
not
me over.
look good for Unique. Yules does buy him a second as he comes back down, though. Ursa gets disarmed. They might still have him, and they do. The Bristle just unable to do enough damage to make any kills happen. Now Tornado, EMP, that'll be his mana, and his HP also ends. Shad doing so much. They just don't have a solution for this Ursa. The double disarm is cute, but it doesn't really stop him.
I'm a little surprised 19 tried to force that so hard.
Yeah, he did 4.5k damage.
Felt like I could see that being forced with like 20 seconds left on the Aegis, but there were still 2 whole minutes left. Didn't
And the
really
cheese.
seem that promising. Yeah, and he didn't have to use either. If they'd gotten Boom, maybe that could have been it, but Boom just escaped with like 15% HP left and just sat in the back line and kept casting spells. There's the MKB, so that's the big solution to a lot of these heroes. Like,
I mean, he's already cutting through these heroes almost as if they don't have evasion. This makes the Ursa pretty darn scary.
yeah, I mean, Palatinos, like, he's going Butterfly into the MKB Ursa and the double halberds. Like, this is their nightmare that this guy's MKB now.
I mean, you made it too good of an item for him this game. How could he not buy it? It almost makes you want this gyro to hard stop.
Buy
Like,
an E-Blade. Go E-Blade.
I hate to say that out loud, but I think it would be better than the Butterfly. He already has the Eagle Song, so there's no getting around that. Sell back the Quarterstaff.
Oh, that's good, though. Paladin Sword now with the Butterfly. That feels pretty good.
Okay, he's got the Butterfly.
I mean, are they just really going to walk at Vanscore?
Yes,
He
they
rolls
are.
under that tornado.
He might still live, though. Sunstrike. Nice sidestep, Vanny.
Saw it coming. All right, 20 seconds left on the Aegis. It's time to smoke out and go for it, Unique.
Ooh, the Mind Breaker. I guess that's not better than the Orb of Destruction.
All right, they're going for this, dude. Here we go. Let's go. They're going to try and catch this Aegis as it expires. 5 seconds. Ursa's coming to the mid lane. 3, 2, all right, it's expired. Where's my jump? Who's got it? It's all on Earth Spirit. He jumps.
Okay, they get the Chen. It's 5 heroes on Chen, and they've got him.
Woo! Yeah.
And it looks like the rest of Vikingg are going to be able to make it back. Tober does get initiated on. Actually turns onto Illusion and says, dude, we got double stun. They make it a 1-for-1. Now the Ursa's here, disarmed, but now able to fight. Buyback used by the Chen. BZZ trying to jump away. Unique taking so much damage. This fight quickly not going the way that they want. Palantimos comes in, though. He's starting to turn things. Both cores on the back line. Cheese eaten by the Ursa. He's getting brought down low. Now surrounded. Shad's down.
Oh, that tornado, though.
Does finish off the Timber. Sunstrike off the mark. And Unique actually make it happen. Palantimos arrived to that fight with a furious eruption. And now they're going to force the issue. Vikingg GG come back for more. And Unique in turn, they might be able to bring down Solari. This would be a dieback, remember. And it is. 2 heroes sideline for 60.
All Palantimos. Oh, he died.
They get the Invoker?
Maledict?
Yeah, it must be.
He took 483 from that last Maledict. Wow, I thought he was good.
Man.
Oh, it's because he took the missile caught him. So he took 243 and that stack on the next Maledict.
Dude, that's a big swing. It is still a small gold lead for Vikingg, but they don't have buybacks on these 3 heroes. That's going to be the glyph. We'll see what kind of damage they can do at the high ground.
That damage from Palantimos was insane. He was in the complete center of that fight with the flat cannon going. He did 3,000 physical, or 2,300 damage to that Ursa alone.
Tier 3 down. This will be the mid lane of Barracks. Tier 2 standing in the side lanes. Unique certainly making this game a lot more interesting. We thought that Vikingg had this 100%. And now, things looking rough after burning both Roche spoils. Now a Basher comes out on the Bristleback. Finally, an item that lets him right-click a little harder.
And Palantimos had 5,000 gold and is settled on the Aghanim Scepter here. Doing a good job of managing some of this gold here.
I kind of forgot that he skipped the Ags. You see a lot of Gyros still go Ags first, I think, right?
Oh, man, double neutral item here, too. He can't even hold these neutral items with somebody. He's got Telescope and Mindbreaker now for Team Unique as well.
Some solid Tier 3 items.
Yeah, Telescope. I guess not the best Telescope game, unfortunately, though. Not really. I mean, Witch Doctor's like, yeah, I have to take it, but it's not terrible. Always good for the cast. Not bad for Maledict, too.
Smoking.
Well, they're hopping back on the horse here from Vikingg. How about that disarm, too? Shad tried to preemptively BKB in that last fight, and somehow they got the halberd first. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So he wasted a lot of his BKB in that engagement, too.
Thought it would still be okay, but you were right. It mitigated way more of his damage.
Well, like, the Bristle probably would have died, right? Like, you saw how low he got.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not going to be able to do much with this smoke. They kind of just let it expire.
A big Roche, too. Their timer, that is. So another minute left.
Kind of a quiet moment. The quiet before the storm.
I hate this feeling when you're on the Radiant team, though, where you like kind of felt like you were winning, and then this fight goes really poorly. Now they're just running into Ursa right now.
Oh, they charge up high ground blind, though. This could be scary. That's actually a Radiant ward on the high ground. Vikingg still very spread out, but they're going to find the Earth Spirit to the side. Toby pops the BKB, and they isolate the Gyro. Ends up being a great fight for Vikingg. They go 1 for 2. Now they turn in onto the Bristle. Disarm. Shad backs up. Soulbind still slowing him down. Now they reinitiate another disarm. Bristle still finds the kill, and BZZ going to make it out.
Excellent targeting there this time from Vikingg GG. Just Gyro completely eviscerated there. Follow up from the tornado. He got roared right after, and then Ursa just started swinging. The damage, 450, 800, and 646. Like in terms of like each second, that's how much damage he's able to pump out. I mean, all his swipes.
And Ursa now not far away from the Abyssal Blade. In onto the tier 3. 2 on the
Yeah, the Abyssal's on
sideline.
its way, I believe. Hey, they could kill Timber here with it. Got that Lotus Orb. He needs the Soul Ring first, though, and he didn't.
There it is, the Abyssal. No buybacks on these 2 dead heroes. Timber does survive. Instead, they get Illusion. Almost find the Witch Doctor also, but not enough damage.
That throws life away for his Timber. That's not going to be enough to save the buildings.
Nope.
Still 12 seconds till Gyro's back. Shad wants this. He's pinging team. Help.
And they will have it. All right. They level it out. They get a lane of barracks themselves. Still a tier 1 standing in the top lane for Vikingg. And, of course, that tier 2 in the bottom for Unique.
Are scanning.
Also an Abyssal Blade out on Bristleback as they walk into Roche. And I know you missed it, Trent. Roche is already dead.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's like, you know that they kill it fast, but it's still jarring to see that. It's
Yeah, that's a little absurd. What did they get anyway?
Ags.
Oh, eggs. Oh,
So
let's
who
go.
got it? It's the Grimstroke. They got a
Yep.
portrait now.
And what do we got for Agi items? Pretty high on the Agi. So he'll get all that white damage, as it were. The Gyro.
The Illusionist Cape. Ah, the item of trickery. Ooh, ninja gear.
Kind of surprised they gave it to the Grimstroke. The more I'm looking at this, why didn't they give it to the Invoker?
Because he don't need it.
I mean, does Grimstroke? Like, I mean, it's good, but here's the thing. It's a magic immune illusion. They have so much physical damage. I feel like that illusion's just going to die to, like, pure or physical. You know what I mean?
I think the gyro illusion is still pretty annoying, isn't it? Does
I
a
guess,
fair amount
I
of
guess the
damage.
pure won't go through anyway, right? Because it's BKB, so because it's spell immune, not magic immune.
Oh, right.
But either way, yeah, I feel like it's just gonna die to Flat Cannon, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, who else would you give it to? Beastmaster?
Invoker. Cataclysm. Why don't you want Cataclysm?
All right.
I mean, they have Tornado. I don't know. That just seems like kind of good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, usually I'm a big fan of the Dark Portrait for sure. I'm just I just hope it doesn't just die instantly from the 350% damage taken.
What does the Chen eggs do? It just lets you take over Ancients? Is that it?
Hey, actually, but look at that. He's taking the the illusion that the Gyro set out.
Why is it so dark?
Because it's he's using the Dark Portrait on the whatchamacallit?
Oh.
The Illusionist Cape.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's... Oh, up top. Ursa.
He is totally alone though.
And totally dead. Team is on the way. Everyone's here but the Invoker. Okay, the Invoker TP's in. Well,
That's a great Aegis.
That was the Aegis. That's it. It's over. That was weird. And
Yeah,
also,
maybe he just
it's
thought people were closer.
a 14K net worth lead all of a sudden, too. The gold has really erupted for Vikingg.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying to just like force a fight outside the base.
Well, I mean, he did. And Silver Edge next. Now, that's interesting. Another positioning tool, but actually going to get a break against the Bristleback.
Oh, BZ's gonna be looking for a break here, because I think he's quite dead.
The Hawk flies
wow.
overhead.
No hesitation.
Boom, you know what's cooking. No hope for the poor Timber Saw here.
Yeah, what a dodge.
He'll make him work for it. Just making it easy for Shad to get the kill. That double damage Ursa comes flying on in.
Just space for the team to get the outpost back up top.
Oh. Smoke? A smoke into a TP. Look at this crafty maneuver. It's a smoke portal.
I don't think it's going to amount to too much.
No. Unique book it back to the base as soon as they see them missing. So, a cool idea from Vikingg. Certainly would have caught somebody if they were lingering about.
He might just walk high ground here. That seems like a Shad thing to do. He's pinging. Yeah, he's thinking about it.
Fellas,
he's going to preemptively overpower.
I'm
he's got
going.
the Abyssal and the Leveler. Oh, he wants it. Oh, that was double Abyssal. But he didn't go for it.
I guess just barely out of range. Didn't want to dive into the towers. It's a pretty short cooldown on the soul bind, so not a big deal.
Oh, we've a spare Prince's Knife on Sleary, by the way.
Hey,
Maybe that'll help set things up onto the Bristle.
whatever happened to the Ursa Ag? Speaking of, used to be in vogue. I mean, I remember when Ursa first started coming back like a couple years ago. It was because of the Ags, this ability to enrage while you're disabled, and that's just
Yeah,
a
and it also gives it
non-factor
an
now.
18-second cooldown.
It's really that much? Oh my gosh, you're right. Goes
Yeah.
from 30 to 18 with a 5-second uptime. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good against, like, Primal Roar lineups or, like, maybe a Mirana if they have a setup or a combo. It is situationally better in some cases. Well, like, that Ags upgrade, for example. Is it just not worth even considering on Ursa in a game like this?
It doesn't really change that much if you think about it, because, like, you can't cast it if he's silenced, right?
It's just
By
stuns and
the Earth
roots.
Spirit. It
Yeah.
doesn't remove Halberd. I feel like nothing that is, like, stopping him will change, because there also used to be a damage buff on the Enrage, right? You used to do more with your Fury Swipes or whatever. That was when it was really good, too. So, like, it was kind of, like, reliant on your damage. Whereas now it just keeps you swinging.
I guess that's true. If the Strong Dispel got rid of Halberd, then having the shorter cooldown from the Scepter might be worth it. But given that Halberd is the trump card there, you're right. Maybe it just doesn't feel worth.
Because it used to multiply Fury Swipes damage before 7.25. That was the big change that made all this Ursa shit different. So that's why you wanted your ulti to be more important, right?
Oh, so you needed to use your ult more because it let you get stacks more quickly.
Yeah, it wasn't like a defensive option in a lot of ways, whereas now it kind of is, right?
Now, it's really pure.
You don't need it if you're just solo ganking someone. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas
okay.
before you did for the multiplier. But that's also why like the Battle Fury is good now too, is because then they moved it so that the Fury Swipes damage just got flat out increased from 7, 14, 21, 28 to 10, 20, 30, 40. That just made him like a better right clicker without ulting all the time.
That's a really good point. Yeah, they just sort of stabilized him, so he's less of a one and done around the enrage.
And then he got Aid really hard at 7.25A. He like lost movement speed, lost overpower cooldown,
Yeah.
and lost Fury Swipes damage.
So I think we're gonna see a lot more Ursa. This hero is on the rise.
I think he's still a later draft hero. I don't think we're gonna see him like before third pick. I don't even think he's a third pick. I think he's like a fourth and fifth pick.
I generally agree. I also think his supporting cast makes a big difference. I think having a hero like Grimstroke actually is a big deal. Grimstroke in particular, because you can set stuff up with Stroke and the slow, and the Ink Swell is obviously quite good.
All right, Palatinos, what are we at here now? We're going Satanic? Well, just tell me when the Rapier's here, and I'll come back to the gyro. Wake me up when the Rapier's purchased.
Do you think you skip the Satanic and go straight Rapier here? Are we in that territory? 16k net worth?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff the stacks resistance is going to be really good for. It's like a bit too good this game, right?
Yeah, okay. I'm with it.
Good thing they got that top racks when they did from the side of Vikingg, though. Because this is not the best pushing lineup, as we kind of said before. Like, they have some tools, but Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're big building hitters now, but even just like pushing out waves and getting to the base, it's not that easy with this lineup at the moment.
Let's just say they weren't disappointed to get the leveler in a lineup like this.
Yeah, fair. Pretty cool item on Ursa.
It is. Yeah.
More attack speed.
I like that they've made this item not feel useless. It's kind of like, I'll take a Hyperstone.
You can actually see how much damage Timber has done to each person on the Radiant by how much pure damage they've taken. That's all him.
Pure.
I think we need another Roche, guys. Well, he might respawn in 2 seconds. Radiant Courier.
1,
It's nearby.
2, 3,
Ooh.
and... Ooh, it's a mid-time.
Wow, did you see that check? He just checked for a 0-second spawn. Look at that guy.
They got these timers on lock.
That's impressive.
They're not messing around.
Wow, Shad is really optimistic.
He's there already. He's just chilling.
Holy shit. It's like, yeah, I'm going to camp this.
1
this
minute
is a
later.
double. This is neat. So that was an entire scan of all red. So they have to assume they're roaching right now.
Wow. They walk in and it's empty. There's just a golem in there.
And meanwhile, your top lane is pushing in. Aramis also has the scythe nearly complete here. And his soulbinds have been very good this match. Oh, that's a good ability to get right before a Roche fight, though. The Radial Deafening Blast now on Invoker.
Sure is.
Wow, he hits for 500 when he pops him out. Damn.
30 seconds now on the Roche spawn. Ward battle.
I
here
don't
mid.
think Unique can do it quite as fast. Just a theory. After seeing some stuff.
This is such a weird game of chicken where they're both fighting over this territory where Roche isn't even here yet. And like neither side really wants to fight, but they both want to scare the other one away. Kind of curious how this is going to play out. So Roche is back. Of course, Shard and Blessing now.
And with the Hawk Vision, they're the ones who get to know. They're predicting a smoke here. That's why Shad is moving in invis like this. Kind of stepping back and forth.
And he still has a cheese from last time. All right, well, Roche is up, boys.
I'm a little surprised he hasn't just gone in and started with how fast he does it. Like with an alacrity or something? Yeah, he's just going to go. They saw that jump.
They
though. They
know,
have a
yeah,
ward.
because that. Well, look at that great ward placement.
Yeah, you don't want to lower it too much to Shad, because they don't do it that fast. Oh, nice. The scythe.
Oh, now Toby, he gets the double damage, but he's going to get caught. Pops the BKB. Does not go in onto the bristle. Shad tries to jump back in. Pops the BKB this time. He's just going to try to finish off the Roche. It goes down. Age just picked up by the Ursa. Destroys Illusion, and now the real fight begins. Unique might be in a tough scenario, though they do pick up the kill on Aramis. Just about. They do get him. Ursa disarmed. Trying to get back in it. Looks like Van Score going to fall next. Buybacks now coming from both sides. The Earth Spirit doesn't have one. It's a 5v4, 19 in the fray.
He did steal the eggs on the Earth Spirit, too, when he got out.
Okay.
So if they can get out of here and trade this, it's not terrible. They traded 2 for 1.
Who's got
Obviously,
the shard?
they wanted the Roche, but there's a pretty good chance they get nothing out of that.
I think the shard was consumed. I'm not seeing it.
The Refresher Ursa had it, so
Yeah.
might have passed it off to someone or it got consumed,
I
yeah.
think somebody used it. They'll catch BZZ.
Yeah,
They need a
Ursa
little more,
used
though.
Yeah, he popped it, so.
Okay.
What do we do with the Aghanims? Timber has decided.
I mean, Gyro's got one already. Earth
The
Spirit.
Bristle one is like...
It's pretty meh. AoE
Yeah.
Viscous Goo. I guess it is kind of cool with Gyro. Like, it synergizes for minus armor AoE with your flat cannon.
I think I like the Timber the best in terms of like the BKB's wearing down on the The Ursa, you're trying to control him. Most of your damage is the ulti is Timbersaw. And he has a decent mana pool with his items.
I'm a little biased because I like Witch Doctor, but
Dude, there's no way you give the Witch Doctor.
the Witch Doctor axe
That's
is
a
pretty
0%
cool.
chance.
I guess he's got enough mana to sustain this with the Hex now. It does increase the damage output from the Timber quite a bit.
Yeah. It's the most reliable one for sure.
Yeah.
The only, like, I could see a debate for just giving it to the Gyro so that he could get his rapier
Sells
faster.
it. Now that's an interesting thought.
But I think it's more value on the Timber. But, like, if I got another one, that might be a consideration before the other heroes. Of course, he'll buy his own. It's only 1,800, you know.
I mean, at that point, if they get to the next Roche, the thing about the Witch Doctor one now is without the bounce limit, it clears out all the garbage. It gets rid of the boars and the summons and shit. Like, you don't have a bounce limit anymore.
Well, actually, doesn't it only hit heroes? Unless it changes with the actors.
That's
There.
a good question, actually. I guess I was
I'm
thinking
pretty sure
about...
it only still hits heroes.
Actually, you're right. I was thinking illusions. Like, it clears out illusions well.
That it would, yes.
You're right. It doesn't clear out the shitty creeps. Damn.
Nice try, though.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what he's got the +2 casts for.
Minions are not the same as illusions. Darn. Now, if they had a PL...
Yeah.
Ooh,
All right.
3 homing missile charges. Okay.
Man, remember when Gyro's Aghanims was just global cooldown? That was so bad. That was like, we're losing. Start split pushing with the global cooldown.
That seriously is the hallmark of how bad something used to be. If it was an item and now it's just a talent. Like, yeah, we'll give it to you at level 30
and it's
now.
a talent no one takes.
You can just
never
have
see.
it. Yeah. I mean, the homing missile charges is pretty annoying. They do
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
that's
of
way
damage.
better. They're just so annoying, too. All right,
All
Boom's
right.
looking for the big initiation.
Whoa,
here.
it goes the other way. 19. He jumps in to start this. BKB's popped on both. Now the Soulbind flies through. It's the Bristle taking some damage. The first disarm. Ursa jumps forward, gets the double Abyssal. Disarmed again. Now Shad gets a BKB.
Oh, that deafening, though. Man, that just wrecks the Timber. He just cannot get in when that thing pops out.
Yeah. Unique took a lot more damage there. Obviously no deaths. But it kind of felt like Vikings were driving that.
They're losing their lead, though. Like, they're not pulling any further ahead, and this Gyro is getting closer to Rapier.
And we are kind of at the point where it feels like Gyro could maybe turn this. Octarine on the Invoker now.
I think they're smoking to go buy Rapier.
They're going to bump right into Toby. Ursa disarmed again, jumps back line. Toby BKBs. Ursa does get Van score.
But it's only Van score, and he's still getting hit by the task.
Toby gets a cheese. The portrait of that gyrocopter actually doing some pretty decent damage here.
There goes
Illusion
the
is
Aegis.
dying. Boom with the BKB on. That's 2 dead now for Unique. BZZ brought down very low. Silenced up. This Ursa still quite healthy. Unique in big trouble. The Gyro doesn't even get to buy the big item.
And he doesn't want to cheese to the Spirit Vessel.
That doesn't feel good. Still ends
Oh,
up falling.
man. Why'd they go out without it?
Using the 2 buybacks that they have. Yeesh.
They're sending the courier in the top lane. It's on the mission.
All right, there's the Rapier. It's coming back, but still 70 seconds. No Timber. 1 lane of barracks standing. They've already glyphed. This courier can't go fast
They
enough.
know. I think they saw it. Because Toby's running up top, and he's
I
hawking.
think it flew over the outpost, dude.
Yeah, they're hunting for it.
All right,
well,
it's Megas. It arrives a little late, but there is still a tier 4. Bristle jumps out. Aramis low. Palantimos now initiated on. Pops the BKB. Satanic, but Shad is a little too big, and he falls. Shad never even dipped. And now this Ursa's going to have it, and that is a GG. Well, slightly anticlimactic, I guess.
I don't know. They really came back quite hard.
I meant the rapier. Just like they went to get it, and it delivered too little too late, I think.
Yeah, the smoke out to fight before was a little unfortunate. But I mean,
would've
they
been
were doing a
interesting.
decent job of holding that lead. And, like, holding that lead off, I guess, and just, like, keeping Vikingg GG at a certain level.
It would have been really interesting to see if they could have gotten the rapier without that, like before that smoke out of the base and taken that final 5v5 with the rapier. That would have been a really good fight, and maybe there's a chance they can hold off and shift some things around, but ends up falling apart just a little too quick. Battle Fury Ursa, dude. That's my takeaway. Battle Fury Ursa.
Man, who did Aramis kill at 38 minutes that gave him 8,000? He went from 8,100 gold to 15,000 gold in 2 minutes. The hell? That must have been the gyro or the bristle or something. He must have got the big kill.
That is weird. It like weirdly
It
stands
looks
out
like he
on
picked
the
up
graph.
a rapier. Like, that's... Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, what's a rapier? 6K? He swung for
Yeah.
5. Did he get like a double kill shutting people down? So I don't remember
Yeah,
specifically
he must have,
what
I
happened
guess.
at 35.
Yeah,
You
still,
can see
that
at
was
the
crazy.
end there. That's what a rapier swing looks like. Boop, boop. Looks like a piecewise function, sort of. Not really. All right. Well, that was a long game 1, but congratulations in order.
But it's only game 1. We can't be congratulating yet.
Vikingg GG. Yeah, well, congratulations for getting themselves a lead in the series, Trent.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a best of 3, though, so we're coming back for game number 2 right after this. Thank you to Monster for making this event possible.
Woo!
We have a whole nother series after this as well, Trent. Don't forget,
I
Liquid
won't. How could I?
versus NIP. Well, you're a forgetful sort, so
Occasionally true.
let's see here. Let's update these overlays and get a little chill hop in the background.